Who were the biggest or the big European bank winners last year?
Well, I mean, Orgel got the biggest raise, definitely. I think, if I remember correctly, it was 32% up. I mean, much of it in equity, long-term incentive plans, so the value would fluctuate depending on the share price. But still, it's a steep rise. I think the second one was Hector Risi at Santander with, I think, something like 22%. And everyone else was below that. But Amorti is still the best paid.
So how will future interest rates actually, cuts affect some of the bank profits, Steve?
It's actually a positive story right now. It's surprisingly, and that's why the bank stocks have rallied so much in the first quarter of this year. Everyone was expecting that bank profitability has peaked because the ECB has started cutting rates. But there's so much going on. Loan demand is increasing, and fee income from asset management, investment banking services, and wealth management is rising pretty rapidly. So it seems like banks will actually be able to defend their level of profitability or even increase a little more. And that, of course, will be good for pay as well.
Yeah, Steve, overall, I mean, you run a team that basically follow this day in, day out, looking at European banks versus Wall Street. I guess they have benefits, but regulation is one of the big question marks going forward. What are some of the lines of questioning that you'll be looking out for these chief executives in the next 6 to 8 months?
You're right. I mean, there's right now actually a big discussion in Europe, I mean, across the globe, triggered by a sort of deregulation push in the U.S. that has now been affecting the European discussion. And there's a lot of deregulation going on in the European Union as well. There's new sort of debates on what to cut, and sustainability regulation will be one area where we'll see relaxation. And there's also a question about actually executive pay. In the EU, there's a cap of bonuses for top management of twice their fixed pay. The UK recently, because it have left the EU, has scrapped that bonus cap, and UK banks have been benefiting from that. And so there's a discussion in EU, or at least EU banks pushing for something similar in Europe.
Yeah, Steve, I mean, when it comes to banker pays, again, will this get a lot of splash? Is there going to get a lot of public outcry like we've seen in the past? Or have things changed on that front?
There's always outcry in the European Union over high and what some people say excessive bankers' pay. There was a sort of a renewed discussion around Amorti's pay when it came out. Orgel's pay has been in the limelight, and UniCredit has been making a strong effort to defend the pay, pointing to company performance and benchmark comparisons. There's always discussion. It's at the same level as always, and I think the banks will be able to sort of just sit it out.